Maybe. We're going to try again. We're going to have take two. All right, so I'm just gonna jump right into it because you know what, we love technology. So, hey everyone, welcome to this week's live training. Let me know if you are catching the replay. Let me know if you are here live and where you are. I'm actually coming from Tampa, Florida, which is actually really warm right now compared to most of the country. So if you are not in one of these warm parts, definitely stay warm as much as you can. And so what I want to do is just really jump into today's training because we're talking about why you don't need more leads in your business. And what you would want to do instead is find that hidden money that is actually in your business first. I think it's one of the biggest things that we see out there is, hey, you need more leads, go get more leads. Yes, you need some more leads. And yes, we're going to talk about that. And of course, you know, leads are important, but there's a few things that you want to know and things you want to stay away from. And what I notice is that business owners these days, they're just exhausted. They're working really, really hard. And unfortunately, they're kind of spending some of the wrong energy in different places of their business. And what I want to do is I really want to make sure that all your time and attention is focusing on the strategy inside your business, because it's not always go out and get more, because sometimes that doesn't really help you at all. There is money inside your business right now. You just need to make sure you know where to find it, so that way you can plug up all of these holes that might be happening in your business, so that when you do get those leads, the results are just exponentially better. So how does that sound, right? All right, well, welcome. My name is Brenda Glover. I am a business strategist. I've been online here since 2011, been doing this for over 10 years now, really helping businesses, large businesses, even small startups, to be able to help grow their business and have the profits that they want, so that their business becomes indestructible, working for them while they're out hanging out, having the fun life that they want. So how does that sound? How would you like to have that business working for you while you're out enjoying your time with your family, your kids, your loved ones, any of that? That is really what our goal is. And this is one of the best ways to do that. So that being said, I'm just kind of curious for those of you that are catching the replay, or you guys popping on here live. Hopefully I'm not talking to myself because we're having some difficulties here. But, you know, I asked a post in a group a little while ago, like, how many of you feel that you're not making the money that you feel like you should be making? And there's a lot of people that really resonated with that. And then also, how many of you feel like you're working a little bit too much for the money that you're making? And that was a common theme. And I totally get it. I've been there, just kind of spinning your wheels. But when it comes down to it, we really want to build that business that's fun. You know, we created our business to be able to help our lifestyle, or you're in the process of it. And I'm really speaking to those of you that have been in business for a while, where it's just not kind of going the way that you want. So Teresa, hey, good morning. Thank you for hopping on here. All right. And so sometimes the biggest trap that we can kind of find ourselves in is that this is the way that I was taught. This is just how we always do it. I'm not really sure. But we know that leads and sales matters. We all do, right? And so that's sometimes the biggest trap that we can see. So what I want to do and talk to you about today, what am I getting? My internet connection, all right? Maybe it's all those storms that are happening out there. I've got a super sunny weather here, but I'm not sure. So we'll just take this as it goes. All right, but what I'd like to help you do today, and especially on this training, is to take a moment and look inside your business. This is really where the true gems are, and sometimes just a few little tweaks can make a massive difference inside your business, okay? So first, I'm just going to get this out of the way. Yes, marketing matters, lead generation matters, making sales matters, your follow-up process, all of that stuff matters. But what matters more is making sure that it's working correctly, so that you don't have to work as hard as you probably are working right now, okay? So my quick little overview, we're going to talk about how we can make this business easy for you and be able to create that indestructible business that works for you. So number one, really, why don't you need more leads? What are you focusing on? Like, what should we be looking at instead? Why don't you really need more leads? Okay. Number two is how you can find that hidden money. Where actually is it in your business? And then number three, which to me is the fun part, it's what I call your future fortunes. That is where we can see, like, okay, we got this stuff down. Now this is where I want to focus my time and attention, because the future fortunes is what makes that business fun. Kind of brings back that like Trump saying, like, let's make America great again. Let's make business fun again. And that's what my goal definitely is for you. Okay. So let's talk about that right now. Like, number one, like, okay, why don't you need more leads? Like, really? I mean, I even think I got like three messages today, like, hey, you need more leads. And it's common. I used to actually use that. I had a great training that I used to sell, that was called instant lead control, getting your leads, learning how to get leads from Craigslist. So I've taught that. Leads are actually important. But way back in the day, it was also a lot easier to make sales on the internet than it is today. So leads really aren't the most important thing. What I want you to think about, and because I've worked with so many businesses, large and small, over the last 10, 11 years, is that a majority of businesses, which means a majority, like 90% plus businesses, have what I consider a leaky bucket on the inside, right? We can think about that. We fill the bucket up and it's just water's coming out. Now, that being said, the problem sometimes is you don't know where those little, those leaky holes are. And so when we're going to put more leads, considering the leads are the water, more leads into this bucket that is just leaking, you're just really doing a lot more work. Now, that being said, I don't have visuals right here, but most of us know a sales funnel. Like, we're going to go try to attract, a lot of people inside the business. We funnel them all the way through. And then down at the bottom, we have the few that we make our sales. And that funnel model has certainly been taught for a long, long time. But what it also does is it teaches us to be like, it's okay where people are just dropping off. Not everybody's going to buy. And yes, that can be true. But what I've noticed, especially as I audit businesses on the inside and look at their strategy, is these funnels that we're putting people through, there's a lot of holes in them. And that sometimes people know, sometimes they don't know. And it kind of reminds me of that relay race where you have like one bucket on one side that's completely full of water, and you have the other bucket down the other side that's empty. And it's your job as your team to transport that water, and you got the cup to do it. And yet there's a hole in the cup. And, the more that you do, the more that you're losing. So let's just continuously go faster and let's just work really hard. And that is what I'm seeing for so many business owners. And so that being said, instead of focusing your time and attention to what is the latest strategy on TikTok or Reels or blogging or Facebook ads, like the latest things to go get more, pause for a moment and really look inside your business. And takes us to number 2 is find these gaps. What are these holes inside your bucket that you could just plug right away? And you'll stop losing people along the way. And what that also means is not only are you losing people, but you're actually finding some of that hidden money that's just sitting there. One of the things we have is a really amazing assessment where we go through and assess all the different areas inside your business. And it's very typical for us to find between $100,000 and $300,000 inside a business sitting there. Okay. How would you like to be able to find that money just sitting inside your business? Now, obviously, these are established businesses. If you are a startup, you probably wouldn't be finding that much money in there. But if you're a business that, you've been making sales and you're being consistent, there's a lot of money in there. So that brings us to number 2. Where is this hidden money? Where are these little gaps that you can find inside your business? Okay. And so that's what I want to jump into right here, right? How many, just before I do, I'm curious, how many of you are thinking like, wow, you know what? I might have some in my business. Or maybe you're like, yeah, I know I do, but I'm just too busy. And I hear this one a lot. I'm just too busy because I got to get this done, that I haven't had time to go back and do that. That's another struggle that I definitely see. So, all right. When we find these hidden gaps in our business, it comes down to strategy. I got to just say that strategy really, really matters. And strategy is not taught that much anymore. That's something I see. And when it is taught, it's being watered down. It's just the way that information marketing has been happening over the last 5-6 years. You can see it happen. So that being said, strategy isn't really being taught as much as it probably should be. So if you're not really aware of these business strategies, it makes sense. You didn't go to business school. Most of us didn't. But we want to know the areas. The biggest advantage you have in your business, not so much against your competition, but you'll beat out your competition. Your biggest advantage is for you to be able to see all the areas in your business and how they're all working together. Not just, okay, yes, I'm getting leads. Oh, not just I made a sale this day, or, oh, I need to follow up with that person, but making sure you have them all, the understanding of how they all work together, okay? And so what I think about this is that there's two parts to your business. You have the NM and the FF. You've got the NM, that the now money. That's the hidden money. What can you do right now to plug up those holes, look at the strategy, focus on your now money. That's the hidden money. Versus then when you have that, let's go to the FF, that future fortune. So if you're focusing on your now money, how many of you guys want to find that money in your business, right? That now money, where do you look, okay? Well, I'm going to give you like the top 5 areas that we've seen, especially when we have this cool software that actually prints it all out for us. But typically, it doesn't matter if your business is small or large, it's almost always in one of these areas. The first one is that, in my opinion, the kind of boring money, profit and loss statement thing, the thing I stayed away from for so many years. But looking at your money assets, like where is your money actually going? How much of it is going out versus how much is coming in? What assets are you actually using? Where are you just losing money in the process and because you just don't understand it? That's definitely one of them. You can find a lot of money just by paying attention to that, which is not super sexy, but boy, can it be lucrative. So there's one of them right there. The next one is, instead of getting more leads, focus on getting higher quality, better leads. And how you do that is not focusing on leads. It's looking at your messaging, your front end marketing messaging, making sure it is absolutely hitting all the hot buttons for your prospect, okay? They know who you are, how you can help them, and you can give it to them quickly. And so they are really much higher quality leads so that you don't have to filter all of these. Wouldn't that be nice if you don't have to filter all of these people out, that they're just like, yeah, I want what you have. And that starts with your marketing message, okay, for sure on that. I've done a couple other lives that you can go back to where I did talk about this. So just FYI, I went into more depth about that. All right, so marketing message really matters. And then we also have to look at your offer. What are you offering on your freebie? What are you offering as your sales? Could you be tweaking that? Could it be more specific? Could it be a little bit more a higher price point? Things like that. Really looking at the quality of your offer. And then the follow-up. Those are mostly the areas, because we all know we should be following up. But do you have an automated system? Do you have things that can work for you? Is it just random? Is it sometimes? Is it off the charts awesome? Those are the areas that you can find the biggest profits. Your hidden money is absolutely in there. I mean, just even by putting in a follow-up process that is on point. Actually, I was just going to say, but yeah, the marketing message makes a big difference too. I've seen all of these double and triple people's revenue over an entire year just by making some small tweaks. So that is what I consider number 2. That's your now money. That's the strategy of where is it hiding inside your business. And so thinking about those things, think about your business right now. Do you have all of these things in place? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they're kind of there, but they're not so great. Having another set of eyes come in and kind of look at that, super, super key, because most of the time we look through our businesses through our goggles, and having that third set of eye or second set of eye come out and look at it can be really helpful. But once you've got that down, once you find this hidden money, which can be very lucrative for you guys, oh my goodness, then, and I'm lighting up because this is the exciting part, you get to focus on the future fortunes. And this is, most people aren't focusing on the future fortunes because you're stuck inside the now money, churning and burning and getting more leads and turning them in. And if we can systematize that, when you systematize that, this is where you get to have the fun, okay? Because the future fortunes is where, this is where the big money's made. And this is where you get to make a butt ton of money. That's how I say, like, this is really where life becomes a lot more fun, because you're not nailed into your business. And you can double and triple your revenue in this stage, not over the course of the year. It could be in the course of a month. It could be in the course of the week. All right. Some people, I've seen it in the course of a couple of days. There's just a monumental amount of income that you can generate by the future fortunes. So what are the future fortunes? What is that? Let me make sure that I'm not going over time. Okay, so this is where we would consider the big stuff, the upsells, the cross sells, the bundling. Where can you have other things that you could offer? So not just your offer, but the upsells. Now, I've also done 2 lives the last 2 weeks, specifically talking about upsells and how massively profitable they can be and how easy you actually can construct them in your business. So if you don't have an upsell, this is something where you're leaving a lot of money on the table just because you haven't offered it. It's that that upsell, like, hey, do you want fries with that? It's that, what question can you ask that will get them to spend a lot more money? What is that for you? Okay, so you can certainly go learn a little bit more about that, but let me touch on that for a second, because this future fortunes money is not only the most amount of money that you can make the quickest, it's also the easiest. This is the easiest way to make a lot of money. And so all you really need to think about is that, okay, this is what I sell, right? I'm coaching, doesn't matter what you're coaching, nutrition, spiritual, business, marketing, whatever it is that you're coaching. Super easy to come up with something else. Even if you sell a physical product, you can come up with what else. If you ask yourself this question, what else can I offer my client that will make it better for them, faster for them, easier for them, and just an all over better experience, they will pay more for it. They will pay anywhere between 3 and 5% immediately on like an automated upsell, or they will spend anywhere between 10 and 30% average on like a back end upsell. As an example, this is just something that I did in my businesses. COVID kind of put a little bit of a stop to it, but a couple years ago, I loved to create or host weekend masterminds. It would be an all-day Saturday and like half the day Sunday, where we would just have our clients come in or even open it up and have just a really amazing deep dive mastermind. Sometimes they were workshops, sometimes they were mastermind. And those would be about $3,000 just for the weekend, right? So then we started offering, because we like to have fun and we love to travel, we started hosting our masterminds in different areas where we wanted to have some fun. And so we added a VIP day. That was the upsell. Hey, if you're going to spend $3,000 to come to this really cool mastermind, would you like to come to the VIP excursion day? So sometimes it was half the day on Sunday, sometimes it was the Friday before, but it involved something fun. And we sold that day, one day, for an extra $2,000, but it included the fun activity. So we took them hot air ballooning in Arizona. We did a dolphin cruise in Tampa. We went jet skiing. With the video, so we had the videographer showing them so they could do a branding thing. I don't remember where that one was. What else did we do? Oh yeah, the deep sea fishing too. So we've done a lot of those really cool things. But I want you to think about that. They were spending $3,000 to come for one weekend, and they were willing to pay 66% more, because about 66% more, just for one day of fun and to have an intimate adventure. What could you be asking in your business that could double and triple your income immediately? That is the power of just one question, offering something fun. But if you start incorporating that into your business, that is where these future fortunes are made. And so just like really quick, like, is that making sense to you? Are you understanding like the power of the strategy in your business versus the power of implementing the future fortunes when you're there? And what I've noticed is that most people aren't focusing so much on some of this future fortunes because they're still focused on the now money. And that's really that churning and burning where you got to get the people in, you got to make that sale, especially if it's just yourself. Sorry, I've got a bunch of messages going. If it's just yourself or you're part of the deliverable, you're working a lot. And I see that a lot. So just a few systems in place could really change your life, change the way that you look at things, change the way that your business is. And it really just comes down to strategy. I say it like, oh, it just comes down to strategy. So you could do it yourself, but I will tell you, it's really hard. It's hard to figure out, where are my leaky holes? Where are the holes inside my business? It's kind of like coaching yourself. It's really hard to do that sometimes, to get that outside perspective, okay? But what it is that, where are you wasting money that you don't want to be wasting money? Looking through, kind of just auditing yourself and being realistic. Take all the emotions out of it. This is one of the first things we used to do back in the day. And people were like, but I do use this sometimes. And, so there's emotions sometimes attached to our money. The systems that you have in place to generate the leads, to take those leads, to put them into sales, the follow-up process. This is our expertise. So if a few things can be tweaked to make that working so fast for you. And so that's absolutely something that I would love to be able to help you with. If you're resonating with this and be like, man, that'd be really nice. Like a quick 15-minute call that we can hop on. It's actually that easy for me to diagnose where the first place would be to start. And then obviously, if we want to go deeper in that, we certainly can do that. But once that happens, you get to focus on those future fortunes. Where could you be offering that upsell? And if you are already offering upsells, or maybe some cross sells, or you have a bundle in there or something, if you are offering that, if you're not getting consistent sales on that, where you're doubling and tripling your income, there's some tweaks that could be made. And when you do this, guys, your business just starts to flow so much easier. It's working for you, where you're not feeling cash strapped, where you're not feeling exhausted. that is really where it's like you don't really need to go get more leads. Now, obviously, if you don't have any, if you've got 0 leads coming to your business and you're not making any sales, yes, there is strategy that matters, but you got to be getting out there and at least attracting and talking to some people. So we need that, right? Okay, so that being said, just kind of want to wrap up and say, like, if you got some value from this, let me know. Put some comments in here so I can see. If you have any questions, I'd love to ask or answer a question. I am running a little bit low on time. We had some technical difficulties getting started, but definitely let me know. And if you are interested in having just like a quick chat about where that hidden money might be in your business, where you could fix this strategy to be able to be like, yeah, I want my business to feel a lot easier. I want to be making more money than I actually am. Put in the comments strategy. Put in the comments future fortunes, because I'll definitely reach back out to you and be like, yeah, let's hop on a quick call. It's not a sales call. It's just some guidance that can really just help you. And if we're not friends, send me a friend request, because I'm new to being inside this group. And so I'd love to be able to personally interact with more of you. So that being said, I just want to say thank you for those of you that were here on the live, and I look forward to interacting with you. Have a great weekend. Stay warm for those of you in the middle with that freezing cold storm, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.